Hello friends, welcome back to my channel MU Exams. My today's video is an answer to one of the question which was asked in the comments. And the question is how the firing order of an engine is determined or the calculations behind it. So before I begin with the video, do subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends to maintain this chain of sharing knowledge. Now let's begin with the video and see the answer to this question. So the answer is hidden in the balancing of this crank mechanism. If we convert this crank mechanism into rotary and reciprocating masses, then we can see the balance forces or unbalanced forces present in this crank mechanism. Now if we suppose this connecting rod having center of gravity or this at this point G, and if we split this mass of this connecting rod in two masses, suppose M1 and M2 over here on the gudgeon pin or the slider crank, we have to split masses in such a manner that this point of the center of gravity of this connecting rod remains at the same point after splitting the whole mass into M1 and M2. So the total mass at crank pin over here, it will be mass of the crank pin plus mass of the connecting rod or the portion the part mass of the connecting rod, and the mass at this uh, piston, it will be mass of the piston plus the mass of the connecting rod or part mass of the connecting rod. So this mass we call it as reciprocating mass, and this mass we call rotary mass. So this rotary mass mc plus m1, this can be easily balanced by placing a counterweight or counter mass just opposite to this crank pin over here, and this will balance this mc plus m1 completely. Now if piston is moving in this direction with acceleration a, then the inertia force will act in the opposite direction, and the value of this inertia force will be this mass of the reciprocating piston or the at the piston into the acceleration a, and the value of acceleration we have already found by the calculations from the kinematics of this crank mechanism, which is omega square r into cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n, where n is the ratio of length of the connecting rod to the radius of the crank. So as you can see from the whole discussion that this mr mass of rotation or the forces because of this mass of rotation are can be balanced by the counterweight, but this inertia force because of the acceleration of this reciprocating masses is unbalanced. So uh, the unbalanced forces which is present in the crank mechanism are because of the inertia forces. So to completely balance this system, we need to remove this inertia effect or the forces due to this inertia effect to zero. The resultant of all the forces due to inertia effect has to be zero to balance the system. Now if we split the inertia equation, force of inertia equation from the last slide, then we can see this m reciprocating into omega square into r into cos theta will be represented by primary unbalanced force, and m omega square r by n cos 2 theta will be representing secondary unbalanced force in this crank mechanism. Now if we see uh, this equation, that is the primary equation, it looks like as if it is a component of the mass which is placed at the crank in the horizontal direction. So if we assume that a mass of m reciprocating is placed at the crank pin, then Fp is the horizontal component of that force. So to balance that force, if we try to balance it by putting a counterweight in the opposite direction, then the forces produced by this counterweight, it will be in the horizontal direction and in the vertical direction. So the forces in the horizontal direction will cancel each other, and there will be a net force in the vertical direction, and the value of the magnitude of this net force will be same as that of the primary force, which was previously before balancing, but its direction will be changed to perpendicular to the axis of this piston or the cylinder. Similarly, if we see this secondary unbalanced force, we can see that it represents a system with a crank of having a radius r, and it is rotating at 2 omega angular velocity. So not sorry r by 4n, that is the radius, and it is rotating at the velocity 2 omega. So the force, secondary force, is also a component of this mass reciprocating, which is placed at a radius r by 4n in the system. So this is just a component of this force. So to balance it, if we place a mass in the opposite direction over here, then it will also have two components, one in the horizontal and one in the vertical direction. Then again this horizontal component will be balanced, and the force, the net force, will be left in the vertical direction. So we can see from the discussion that by trying to balance this force by putting counterweight, will just change the direction of the force, but the magnitude will still remain the same. So this kind of partial balancing is used in these systems. Partial balancing means the mass which is placed with the counter mass which is placed for the balancing is not the full mass, but it is fraction of the mass reciprocating. So the value of C should be less than 1, less than 1. So this kind of balancing is used only for small engines. Now let's see how can we completely balance the crank mechanism, and the solution to that is by using multi-cylinder inline engines. So to completely balance the primary forces, two conditions has to be fulfilled, that is the algebraic sum of the primary forces must be 0 in the system, and the algebraic sum of the couple about any point in the plane of primary force must be equal to 0. That is the condition for balancing these primary unbalanced forces, sorry. And the other two other conditions for secondary unbalanced forces is that the algebraic sum of the secondary forces must be 0, and the sum of the couples about any point in the plane of secondary forces must be 0. So these are the two conditions. If we fulfill these two conditions, then the system will be fully balanced. Let's try to understand by taking an example. We'll take example of two-stroke engines. So 2-stroke engine and 6 cylinders. So multi-cylinder inline 2-stroke engine with 6 cylinders. So if it is 2-stroke, then the crank angle will be 60 degrees, that is 2 pi by 60. And let's assume for this engine the firing order be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this firing order, let's draw the crank position diagram. So this is the crank position diagram. In this, the crank angle is 60 degree and it is rotating at a velocity of omega. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, this is actually 5, then 6. Similarly, let's draw this crank position angle for the secondary unbalanced forces, or the so for that the angle is 120 degrees between the crank angles, and it is rotating at a velocity of 2 omega. So the firing order is 1, 2, 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6. So these are the crank position angles for this multi-cylinder inline 2-stroke 6 cylinders having a firing order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's draw the force polygon for the equation for the system, and the couple polygon for the system. Actually friends, this can be done by an analytical method also, by the calculations or by using the equations, but it will become very difficult or very complicated to understand. So instead of using that method, I am going with this polygon method, so that can be easily understood how this firing order is determined for the engines. So for this crank, for the primary crank position, if we draw the force polygon, then the force polygon, as you can see from here, it is fully closed. And if we draw the couple polygon, then we can see a resultant, this couple polygon is not fully closed, but there is a resultant couple acting in this direction. So we can see that the for the primary crank position, only the force polygon, only the forces are balanced, but the couple is not balanced. Now let's see the secondary crank position angle. So crank position angle, we see the force and couple polygon. So for this, again the force polygon is balanced, as we can see from this diagram. But when we draw the couple polygon, there is a net resultant which is shown by this red dotted line is there in this direction. So again the couple polygon is not closed, means the couple is not balanced in this engine. So we can see from the whole discussion that 6-cylinder engine, 6-cylinder 2-stroke multi-cylinder inline engine with having a firing order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have forces, have all the forces balanced, but the couple acting in the system are unbalanced for the primary as well as secondary forces. Now let's see the magic by just changing the firing order of the system. So let's assume this time the firing order be 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. So similarly we draw the crank position angles for the primary as well as for the secondary forces, secondary unbalanced forces. So it is 1, then 4, then 5, then 2, then 3, then 6. Similarly for this, and it is rotating at velocity omega, and this is rotating at velocity 2 omega. And similarly secondary crank position angle 1, then 4, then we have 5, then we have 2, then 3, and then 6. So these are the crank position angles for the system having a firing order of 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. Now let's draw the force polygon and the couple polygon for the system. So we can see from the diagram that the force polygon is again closed, means that forces for the primary crank positions are balanced, and couple polygon for the primary crank position is also a closed polygon. So in that so this also shows that the couple acting for the primary crank positions are also balanced. Now if we see the secondary crank position, again the force polygon is balanced, as you can see it is a closed polygon, but when we come on to this couple polygon for the secondary crank positions, we see a resultant force act in this direction. That means the couple polygon is not balanced, it's not closed, means it's not balanced. So we can see from the discussion that by just changing the order we get a system in which both the forces, the primary and secondary forces are balanced, and one couple polygon is this couple polygon for the primary crank position is also balanced. So as compared to previous system where only the force polygon were balanced, in this system the couple polygon for the primary crank position is also balanced. So if we again change the firing order and keep doing the system till both the primary and the secondary force polygons are balanced, and primary and secondary couple polygons are balanced, then that firing order will be taken for the system. So friends, thank you. Hope this is clear. This is the system for finding the firing order of the engine is clear. So till then, take care, have fun.